Today we're taking one of the most important trips we have ever taken.
Let's do this.
Back at the airport lounge, feels like we were just here a week ago. This time with tequila instead of wine. We felt it was appropriate to go a little bit more Mexican today because, amigos, we are flying to Phoenix. Why?
Because I'm gonna become a Mexican. So we're applying for residency for the second time.
Hopefully this time they allow us to be residents. I mean, we've still been living here.
Why wouldn't they?
Today, Hillary, potentially myself, will be applying for temporary residency in Mexico. At the end of the video, we'll explain a little bit about the process and obviously how it went and how the process is different, like here in Phoenix versus Austin versus what they say in Dallas, because that's all very interesting, fascinating. It doesn't work like I thought it worked, but hey, I'm not that smart.
We got all of the documents. We killed about 14 trees.
They needed a lot of information.
They needed a lot of paperwork. Now, sometimes Greg and I tease our amigos mexicanos for showing up to the airport with manila folders, with like shot records, your dog's vaccination dates,
everything.
Your kids' soccer trophies. I feel like that is us today. I feel like I printed off documents. They're like, we need 12 months of statements. And I'm like, why not print 24? So we are very over-prepared, like a good Girl Scout that I am. Now, I know they're going to ask me I think they might ask me what I love about Mexico. And I asked you guys on Instagram, and then I got all teary-eyed at your responses. Any advice? Obviously, you know, I'm going to have no problem talking about what I love about Mexico, but I feel like even the thought of them asking that makes me want to cry, and sometimes I cry when I get like really nervous or overwhelmed, so here's to hoping there are no tears.
My heart is beating so fast.
My
I don't even know
heart
why.
is
We have all the
pounding.
paperwork. We love Mexico. We want to be there. We have good intentions, right?
I'm going to cry before we even get in just because I'm so nervous.
Do we have good intentions?
I feel like I'm usually really good in like interview settings, but for some reason I feel like it's been 5 years of us like really wanting this, and so I feel like it seems like a really big interview. Like you don't really want your dream job for 5 years, so I feel like there's a lot that's going to happen in the next hour, but at the same time it's all happening so quickly.
2 hours later.
About an hour and a half later, and
2 heart attacks.
we were both temporarily accepted. We have to finish the process in Mexico, but we are well on our way to becoming temporary residents of Mexico.
I could have jumped
finally.
across through the plexiglass and hugged her. Jackie was her name, and she is my new best friend. Wow. I almost started crying
I've never
when
been
I saw
so
our
nervous.
visa.
Jackie was extremely friendly, just asking us normal questions, but I felt like everything was a trap, or like I didn't know how to answer because it was like, well, if I say this, it could be this. If I say that, it could be that. I was like,
Same.
I don't even know if I answered any of the questions. Sorry, Jackie, but thank you. So now we just have to finish the process in Mexico, go back, get maybe an appointment, but go back and basically do some more paperwork and finally get our cards to finally be residents of Mexico.
Wow, we were approved. Approved.
Yeah. All right, they're gonna take away my visa if I keep singing. We were approved. They let us in. They let us in the country. Now we have to, I believe, set an appointment. At the INM office here in the area. I believe it's in Nayarit. We have yet to do that. We have 30 days to go to the office, finish up just really what I believe should be formalities. Within that time, we can't leave the country, which we're not planning on doing anyways, luckily. So please, nobody have emergencies. While we were in the office waiting we'd shown Jackie, dear Jackie, all of our information.
Thank you, Jackie.
And then she said, okay, I'm going to take this to my boss. He's going to review everything. You guys just go sit over there in the waiting area.
Like hang out, hang tight, relax.
Just go hang tight, yeah, as if you can when you're waiting for
your fate.
a visa. And Hillary said something really profound, really interesting.
Wow. Well, that's a big setup. I don't know if it was that profound, but the whole time we were there, obviously this was the Mexican consulate, so we were the only people speaking English in there. I think a few people were renewing passports, things like that, but I think you can also do like citizenship there. I'm assuming that's where you would do it. Meaning Mexicans who are applying or going through the process of becoming a U.S. citizen. And I couldn't help but think about our dear friend Martine and so many other people across Mexico that are trying for residency or citizenship or visas or just the entire process, and how, since we were born in the United States, purely lucky we are to have such an easy time there. And while we did feel super nervous, I feel like the process was so painless and so simple and easy compared to what people all across the world have to go through for the same residency that Greg and I earned in a few hours.
Right.
Or not even earned. We didn't earn it. That's the point here. Exactly. Is that we just realize and want to touch on how extremely lucky we are.
Yes. We were obviously nervous, and to us it was important, but we just don't want that nervousness and our goofiness and our happiness in the video to be misconstrued for a lack of empathy for, you know, what other people all around the world could be going through. What if one of our dear friends had to go through marrying a gringa and trying to get his visa in the States took over a year. COVID obviously complicated that. But for temporary residency, what does that mean for us? What could it mean for you? What is temporary residency? We won't go like super in detail because we are by no means experts. Yeah. But what does it mean for us?
For us, it means we won't legally have to leave Mexico every 180 days. So you're automatically given, like, if you travel via plane, you're automatically given a 180-day tourist visa, and you have to leave Mexico every 180 days, which is 6 months. And now we don't have to do that. That is one thing it means for us. The second and probably biggest thing it means for us is we are one step closer, not yet, don't count those roosters before they're hatched. We're one step closer to being able to distribute, sell in so many different ways con todo coffee here in Mexico. So that's what that means for us.
Right. We don't have to leave. We could open a business. I think now I don't think this would happen because she's not going to let me do it, but we could buy a motorcycle.
That's not why we applied for residency.
Is it not?
Can we get a dog?
Do you want to travel or get a dog?
Both.
We'll see.
I'll
we didn't need residency for
both.
That. We'll try and put some links down below. But basically, if you're planning on living in Mexico for an extended period of time, temporary residency gives you a few more benefits, especially if you're not like us and you don't want to go back to the States. We're still going to go back probably every 2 months, so that aspect really won't change for us. Now, why did we go to the Phoenix office instead of going to somewhere closer like Dallas or Houston, not Houston, Dallas or Austin is what I was going to say, or Houston, anywhere in Texas where we're from.
there are tons of Mexican consulates all sprinkled across the United States, but the interesting thing that we learn, and for those of you who may not know this, we've actually applied for residency before. We applied a few years ago in the Austin, Texas office, and we were rejected. This is kind of like a tricky situation because every office requires a little bit different paperwork and things like that. So last time we were denied, I believe, on the basis of, well, I'm not even really sure what we were denied.
I don't know. It really has a lot to do with the person you talk to at the moment, which is kind of where we're going.
Yeah, and so we ended up at Phoenix based on the recommendations of our friends. On Facebook, you guys seemed to tell us that Phoenix was an easy office to work with. And Jackie, we gave you a business card for these videos, and I hope you're watching because you have no idea. I feel like we wanted to bawl when we left there because we were so excited. So we chose Phoenix sort of on a whim. I mean, not on a whim. This appointment's been scheduled for months. every office has different requirements.
Yes.
For example, we reached out to the Dallas office, and Dallas is only granting, or at the time was only granting, temporary residency based on Social Security income, which we obviously don't have, so you had to be retired. So every office has different requirements based on the paperwork you'll need, the income requirements, the investment requirements. Basically all the boring paperwork.
Everyone
so that's why
operates
we went
differently.
To Phoenix. But we loved Phoenix.
Phoenix was nice.
I'm glad we went.
I found it fascinating, and again, for anybody who's applied for residency or visa in a different country, whether it be the States or elsewhere, I always assumed it was like, here are the rules, and these are the rules, and they don't change. This is like,
it's not black and white.
It's not like that. It depends on who you talk to. It depends on who their boss is. It depends on the weather. It depends on whether they had their con todo coffee that day.
What would you say about the Mexican food in Phoenix, though?
Pretty bad.
Yeah. It was really bad.
Amigos, that is all we have for you today. We actually need to work on setting up that appointment to finish our residency because we're not quite residents of Mexico.
We're halfway
yet.
Mexicans!
Ay, ay, ay!
Hey!
Did anybody do that? I don't think so. I've never heard anybody do that.